Hi guys, welcome back to With Kelsey. I know it's been a few months and I promised that I would have been back months ago, but the world has sort of turned upside down. And it's taken me a while to kind of figure out what I want to talk about, to rectify all the health things that's been going on. I've also been planning a wedding and now postponing a wedding. So there's been a lot going on in my world. But today I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things. So as bariatric patients, we have a pretty specific diet, and with the coronavirus sweeping the nation, people are under lockdown. Us here in New York City, we are under lockdown for who knows how long. And it's a tough time to have a specific diet of fresh vegetables and fresh meat. So I want to go through the day-to-day things that I'm doing to cope with my bariatric diet and my new kind of eating requirements while also on lockdown. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. First things first, drink your water. Getting dehydrated in a time like this is not going to be good. Not only are the hospitals packed, but it's also the place where all the sick people are going. And this is not the time that anyone wants to risk their health, the health of your family, or your loved ones, or anyone that might live in a close vicinity of you. So do yourself a favor, drink your water. The Yeti cups, this is not a sponsored video by the way, but the Yeti cups are amazing. So this is, I believe, is 30 ounces. You know what, I could be totally wrong on that, but I'll put a little note if I'm not. But anyway, it keeps your water cold all day. So I can drink 3, 4, 5 of these without even really noticing it. Yes, it is a straw. I don't have any problems drinking through a straw. I never have. I was never given the direction not to drink through a straw. So use your own common sense. If you feel like a straw is a bad news for you, it doesn't require one. It has a little lip on it. I like a straw because I can drink water faster. So be it. Anyway, these guys are great. You can also put in obviously iced coffee, Crystal Light, anything you're drinking these days. One thing I will also say, and if you are a nurse on the go, this might be a great option for protein shakes because it does keep the liquid cold for a significant amount of time. Like I can leave ice in this overnight and it's still ice the next day. It's amazing for that. So for nurses, those of you who are still going to work, all the essential workers, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being out there and protecting each and every one of us. I can't even imagine what it's like to be on the front lines of this crisis right now. Yeti does make it also, they make like little small cups, like travel coffee to go mugs. I actually have a water bottle that I usually take with me that has like a screw top lid, just because I can throw it in my bag and not worry about it. Whereas this does have like a spout. So this is like my home cup and it comes in a myriad of colors. You can decorate it. Anyway, drink your water. The next thing I want to talk about are easy meals that you can make while on quarantine or in lockdown. Things out of your pantry, maybe. Some staples that I picked up for my pantry when we were given sort of the 48 hours notice is shelf-stable almond milk. So a lot of you are already lactose intolerant, maybe before you had surgery, maybe after, but almond milk is great because there are shelf-stable versions of it that you can just put in your pantry. So you could buy 12 and have enough for a couple weeks of almond milk. These are also great to pick up at places like Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's, because you can buy them in the bulk packs. Now, Costco is not somewhere you probably want to be venturing out anytime soon, but I just discovered if you live in a major metropolitan area, so a bigger city, Costco is doing deliveries, whereas normally they would be within 2 hours. Here in New York City, it's a week out, but it's still an option if you need, you know, large items like almond milk. So that being said, protein powder is another amazing thing that you can make that is shelf stable. I mean, it'll last for years on your shelf. So find a protein that you love. You all know I love Inspire. I literally have 12 bags of buttermint right now, and I'm just counting down the minutes until I get paid to purchase more. So those are always a great item. I still, to this day, start my day off with a protein coffee. I have another one around 11. I probably have another one around 3 o'clock. All this time I'm drinking copious amounts of water to balance out the caffeine. You remember, dehydration sucks. And The protein just really keeps me going, so I don't really have to think about what I'm gonna have for lunch, or if I have fresh lettuce to make a chicken salad, or something like that. So that being said, let's move on to some actual food, right? Because I mean, we need to eat, and we likely need to feed our families. I want to give a huge shout out to the team over at Bariatric Eating. As you know, I am an employee of Bariatric Eating. I do work very closely with the team, but these guys have been relentless at coming up with solutions of what to do during this pandemic for food for bariatric patients. It is absolutely incredible, the things that they have come up with, the easy breezy meals for families, meals for singles, meals to freeze, all this kind of thing, and it's all for free. So if you want to know more, check out bariatriceating.com. I'm going to put a link right up here so that you can see, check them out. There are tons, like I said, of meal options that are picking and pulling from your pantry, picking and pulling from the fridge. They have been amazing. So moving right along, a couple of things that I think are important to stock up on in this pandemic for bariatric patients are, things that can be shelf stable, but also fridge items like eggs. Eggs are great because you can kind of make them into anything. So far this week, we've had scrambled eggs, deviled eggs, crustless quiche, and, just regular sunny side up eggs. Eggs make a great source of protein. They're also a healthy source of fat because we don't want to completely deplete our diet of fat, because that's what keeps our skin smooth, our hair strong. It keeps our body kind of running the way it needs to. It's sort of like a car needs oil. A body needs some amount of fat, healthy fats, not French fry fats. So eggs are a really great thing to keep in the fridge. They're easy, they're fast, and they're cheap. So in this time, a lot of people are scrambling for money. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people don't know how they're going to pay rent. So eggs make a great, easy meal for a family, no matter how big or how small. Another thing to keep around that kind of lasts a little bit longer is Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, again, is a huge source of protein, and you can use it in a lot of different ways that maybe you didn't think about. You can mix it with your protein powder and create your protein powder flavored yogurt, so you're getting double the amount of protein. You can mix it with a little bit of tomato sauce and make it sort of like a dip for chicken or for veggies. You can use Greek yogurt in place of a lot of baking recipes. Again, Bariatric Eating has a ton of recipes. Just this week, my family likes dessert. I don't have a huge sweet tooth myself, but it's always nice to have a dessert, and when you're stuck with each other for days upon hours on end, a little sweets kind of helps, right? So we made the chocolate mousse pie. So you use sugar-free Jell-O, again, another pantry staple, sugar-free Cool Whip, which again lasts forever in the freezer, and then some sugar-free cookies that I smashed into a pie shell. So that was an easy thing to do. Whipped it all together, threw it in the freezer for a couple hours, took it out, and we had ice cream pie. Now, my family is pretty small. It's just myself, my fiance, and my son, and that fed us for a whole week of desserts. And it was kind of a nice little refresher to have kind of a nice little treat in this time. What I want to caution against is buying a lot of shelf-stable things that are bad for our diet, like rice or flour, as far as cultural recipes, or even just, the food we ate as kids. However, things like eating a copious amount of rice, you're gonna come out of this pandemic feeling tired and no energy and maybe even miserable. And why is that? Because upping your carbs makes you tired and lethargic and sluggish. And then if you've gained 15 to 20 pounds on top of that, you're gonna feel really, really bad about yourself. So don't give in to the rice and, all the carbs out there, the bread and the frozen meals. You don't need those kind of things. If you're a new post-op, one of the great recipes that I've made when I was a new post-op both times, and I'm considering making it for dinner tonight, is a ricotta bake. So you take some ricotta, I simmer it in a little bit of tomato sauce, and it becomes this really beautiful, smooth, creamy, protein-rich, with healthy fat meal. Now, you can serve that to your family with noodles, And for yourself, you can serve it to yourself with some broccoli or, you know, any other kind of frozen veggie that you have out there. I've made mine with any kind of frozen vegetables I've had in the house, including and not limited to Brussels sprouts, peppers that are sliced and diced, green beans, whatever I could find. In these days when we are struggling to be able to get to the grocery store or we're afraid to leave our homes, it's nice to be able to pull things out of the freezer and just kind of make do. Another thing that I did to prepare, as I said, we were given about a 48-hour notice before New York City went on pause, aka shelter in place, is we hit up our local grocery store and bought bulk chicken breasts. So we got this huge bag of chicken breasts. I think it was like 20 pounds or something. I brought it home, I cleaned it all, I sliced it all up, I seasoned it all, and then I put it in Ziploc bags and threw it in the freezer. I did the same with ground beef and pork. The reason being is because at night when it's time to have dinner, I can just pull a little bag of chicken out and make anything. Last night I made baked chicken on a sheet pan. So a sheet pan with a little bit of olive oil, some onions and some broccoli, the pieces of chicken, roast for 30 minutes, take it out, dinner served. Now, if you have a bigger family and you're trying to kind of cut costs a little bit more, you can serve it to them with rice. Just avoid the rice yourself. Noodles, beans, anything like that. You can also pull the chicken out and make a stir fry. You could put it into a soup. You could throw it in the Instapot and make a stew. You could throw it in the slow cooker and make a chili. There's kind of any number of things that you can make, but when you have that stuff already portioned out and seasoned, it just makes it all the easier. So you're not turning to takeout or delivery dinner. We don't know how long we're going to be stuck at home or in our homes or relegated to a very small area around our homes. And the last thing you want to do is start feeling crappy and, you know, being sick. Last but not least, I want to talk to you guys about vitamins. Don't give up your vitamins or your supplements during this pandemic. The last thing you want to do is start feeling crappy or not feeling well and not really sure why. And as we get older, vitamin deficiencies hit us a lot harder than they did maybe when we were 20 or 30. So I want to recommend to you, make sure that you have a good regime for taking your vitamins. For me personally, I take some vitamins in the morning to help with energy and longevity kind of through the day. And then I take other vitamins at night before I go to bed. And it just becomes this perfect marriage of vitamins and my schedule. So I keep the vitamins I take in the morning beside my coffee maker because I get up in the morning and I make myself a protein coffee. While that's brewing, my vitamins are right there. I take my vitamins. I keep my nighttime vitamins beside the bed. So when I get into bed and I'm putting, you know, my phone on the nightside table, my vitamins are right there, I take them. It's really, really important to stay on your vitamins. And for those of you who are in childbearing age, the ladies out there, it's also important to take your birth control. Unless you're not trying to not get pregnant, then this might be a great time. I keep hearing about in, you know, a year's time, we're going to see the rise of the coronials. And I guess maybe there's a silver lining everywhere. Who knows? Also, for bariatric patients, keep in mind that having the sniffles while you're eating is generally a sign that you're full, not so much that you're sick. So if people around you start to get really nervous, just let them know, hey, this is my tell that says I'm full and I need to stop eating. It's very, very common in the bariatric community. That being said, if you do have any symptoms like shortness of breath, like a dry cough, like a fever that comes and goes, you lose sense of taste or lose sense of smell, or you just feel overall crappy, please reach out to a health professional. Please call the numbers that the CDC has listed or the numbers that your state has listed before you go into a testing center. So please keep in mind that you can call these numbers and they can give you an idea of if you need to come in and get tested, if you should wait it out, that kind of thing. I'm not a medical professional, but I do know that our hospitals are really, really oversaturated right now. So it saves you the trip and possible exposure to the virus by just calling the number to find out beforehand. So something else I wanted to talk about is, what do we do during a pandemic? We're stuck in the house. Most of us are on lockdown here in the United States and around the rest of the world. And what do you do so you're not snacking the whole time? Because the old me would be baking or eating or cooking or ordering out. What are we doing in the meantime? Well, for me personally, I've started doing my own nails. I ordered a polygel kit on Amazon. It's by a company called McCart. And I also ordered a gel system from a place called E-Couture Nails. Now, I love the E-Couture nail stuff, because it's really cute. It looks very Japanese, it's very kawaii, but their shipping is awful. It took 2 months for me to get my shipment, and this was long before the pandemic. So I recommend going on Amazon or checking out Après Nails and seeing if you can get a gel kit. So basically what they do is they give you, it looks like a press-on nail. You put some gel on your actual nail. You put the nail under the gel light to cure, so you will need to purchase a light. And then you take the nail, then you take the press-on nail, you put some gel on the back of that, you press it on, you put that under the light again, and you're left with nails. So these are I think they're called Yuri Murakami Après Gel tips. So they're different colors. I've cut mine very, very short just because I have been doing a lot of cooking and cleaning. And then I got some pretty new polish from Holo Taco. I don't know if you can see all the unicorn skin on here, but I did buy the 3 unicorn color polishes. At this point in our country, I am trying to support any small business that I can. And Christine, who has been here on YouTube for years and who is hilarious and who is Canadian, I'm doing my part to try to help support her little business, which has turned into quite a big business, really, during this time. This is also a great time to look online and see if your local businesses need help. So if you need groceries, Instacart is a great resource, but try calling the grocery stores instead, or looking online and seeing if they have their own grocery delivery service. Calling ahead to restaurants and pre-ordering dinner for pickup is another great option. There are so many things you can do during this lockdown that maybe you haven't had time to do. For me, I'm taking the time to relax. I'm catching up on some books I wanted to read. I'm watching some Netflix. We just watched Tiger King. Can I just say, like, wow, I had no idea that was out there. Anyway, if you want a good kind of raunchy, guilty pleasure docuseries to watch, check out Tiger King on Netflix. There are a ton of great shows. You can even rent movies that are in the theaters right now. I think we saw yesterday it was $20 to purchase Onward, which is, I believe, a Disney Pixar film that had come out. And so there's lots of great options there. At our house, we've been playing a lot of board games. We did Lion King Monopoly, which my fiance wins every time. And we have Jenga. We are gonna play some Super Smash Bros on the Nintendo Switch, possibly today or tomorrow. So there are a lot of things out there to keep us kind of entertained if you just look a little bit harder. There are also a lot of great workouts that you can find on YouTube. You can sign up for a streaming service that has a lot of great workouts as well. What I did this week, which was really cool, is, so I'm from a little tiny small town in Canada, and they had a yoga class that they live streamed that was taught by a girl that I kind of had babysat, who grew up in my family my whole life. So she taught that, and so I did yoga on a live stream with my friends and family from miles and miles and miles away. So that was really cool. So look out, there's tons of cool things out there that are streaming that you can do from home to keep yourself moving, to keep your blood flowing, to keep your body feeling good, and to keep losing weight. So that being said, guys, that's all I have for right now. I just wanted to reach out and say hi. How are you guys? I hope you're well. I hope you're staying safe and healthy and happy, and we can get through this pandemic together with kindness and generosity to each other, with thanks to those who are putting their lives on the line, to, you know, giving a sympathetic smile or a hug to those who are losing loved ones, and, you know, be kind to each other, because you never know what someone else is going through. And as always, I promise I have more content coming. Now that I'm home all the time, I have everything set up. So I hope you'll be seeing more of me. And if you have any comments on what you'd like to see in the future, please leave them down below. I am toying with the idea of doing a nail tutorial. and possibly a makeup tutorial. I want to talk to you guys about some of the new makeup and skincare I've been loving, and that's all I've got for today. So as always, be kind. Love you guys. Bye.